Get ready, because the NFL is about to completely rewrite the rulebook on how we watch football, and the financial shockwaves are going to change the Chicago Bears forever. The league just dropped a massive international bombshell that is going to line the pockets of front offices, skyrocket the salary cap, and potentially salvage the team's future financial flexibility. But it comes with a dark side that could absolutely screw over die-hard local fans and completely ruin legendary rivalries. If you are a die-hard fan who eats, sleeps, and breathes football, and you are counting down the seconds until the gridiron lights turn back on, do us a massive favor. Hit that like button, share this with your crew, and subscribe right now so you never miss a single breakdown. So, what is this massive shift that has everyone talking? The NFL officially approved an expansion to play up to 10 international games per year starting in 2027. On top of that, they completely stripped away a team's ability to protect their home games from being moved overseas. Previously, franchises could protect 2 marquee matchups on their schedule to ensure they stayed in their home stadium. Not anymore. The league now has total power to snipe any game they want, pack it up, and ship it across the globe. Are we genuinely prepared for the reality of the NFL completely abandoning local stadium traditions just to chase global streaming dollars? The immediate reaction from experts and insiders is that this move allows the league to put true, primetime rivalry matchups overseas. We aren't just talking about regular games anymore. We are talking about putting the biggest, most historic games on earth on the international stage. Why? Because those massive, high-profile matchups make the international broadcast packages unbelievably valuable. Big-time media analysts are already projecting that the league could pull in over $100 million per game from a streaming partner. This brings us to the ultimate question of the day, and I want every single one of you to drop your thoughts in the comments below. Would you be absolutely furious if the NFL moved the legendary Bears vs. Packers rivalry game out of Soldier Field or Lambeau Field to play it in a city like London, Madrid, or Sao Paulo? Or do you think expanding the global game is worth sacrificing the home field advantage? Seriously, comment below right now because this is a massive debate. If you follow the trajectory of sports media, this evolution is just basic common sense. Every single year, we watch more tech giants and streaming platforms aggressively bid for football rights. With the international slate expanding, we are rapidly approaching a reality where a 12 to 15-week international package is sold exclusively to a streaming giant. Imagine waking up every single weekend from September through the beginning of December with a standalone international game streaming exclusively on Netflix, Amazon Prime, YouTube, or Hulu. The league would likely cap it around week 14 or 15 because no front office wants their roster enduring a grueling transoceanic flight right before the playoffs. But a season-long weekly international package is almost a certainty at this point. While losing home field tradition sucks for the fans attending games, the financial payoff for the franchises is astronomical. More international streaming revenue means the league's total revenue climbs to unprecedented heights, which triggers a monumental spike in the NFL's salary cap. For a franchise like Chicago, that is the ultimate silver lining. Think about the massive financial puzzle of building a championship roster. If Caleb Williams turns out to be the franchise quarterback everyone expects, the front office will eventually have to pay him top-of-market, historic money, potentially north of $60 million per year. Chicago has historically never been in a position where they had to pay a quarterback an elite, market-setting contract. But that is the exact position you want to be in, because it means you finally found a superstar who can lead you to a Super Bowl. A constantly exploding salary cap completely softens the blow of a mega extension. If a contract is structured intelligently and backloaded, a massive cap hit in 2030 or 2031 looks completely manageable if the overall league salary cap climbs toward $400 million. The financial boom isn't just driven by international games either. There is another hidden catalyst that is about to make the salary cap explode, and it comes down to how viewership data is calculated. The industry standard for measuring TV ratings has fundamentally shifted. Media metric companies are now using direct data from smart TV manufacturers to track precise viewing habits, moving past old-school physical audience panels. This means modern streaming numbers, especially from packages like Sunday Ticket on YouTube, are finally being captured accurately. Because millennials and Gen Z consume the sport almost entirely through digital streaming apps, the real viewership data is significantly larger than traditional metrics ever showed. When the next massive broadcast rights negotiations open up in a few years, this precise, massive data means the cost to broadcast NFL games will skyrocket. Front offices with forward-thinking general managers are already anticipating this. Teams can aggressively sign superstars to heavily backloaded deals with massive amounts of future money, knowing that the mathematical percentage of the cap space those deals occupy will shrink significantly by the time the bills come due. You can already see the league tipping its hand and favoring these limitless tech budgets. Just look at the scheduling shift between Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime and traditional network slots. The quality of the digital streaming slates has drastically improved. A few years ago, midweek games were routinely viewed as secondary matchups. Now, primetime streaming slots feature critical, late-season games with massive playoff implications. The NFL is doing this intentionally because traditional networks simply cannot match the endless capital of a trillion-dollar tech company. The league is actively catering to these platforms because they know these digital giants have the financial power to potentially double the broadcasting offers of traditional networks when the next round of bidding begins. For the everyday viewer, this creates a wild double-edged sword. On one hand, more revenue means an exciting, aggressive salary cap environment where your favorite team has the financial freedom to take massive swings in free agency and retain homegrown superstars. On the other hand, the consumer experience is becoming a fragmented nightmare. Fans are quickly reaching a point where they might need 5 or 6 different subscription services just to have access to every game on the schedule. Even if you pay for a premium Live TV streaming bundle to cover the traditional networks, you still have to buy separate independent subscriptions for individual games scattered across various corporate apps. But the NFL handles this friction with total confidence because they know they hold all the leverage. Football is completely unique compared to other major sports leagues. In leagues with 82-game schedules, a fan can easily skip a streaming-exclusive game because there are dozens of other games to watch. But in football, every single game is an absolute event. Your team only plays once a week, and every single win or loss drastically alters the course of the season. No real fan is going to willingly miss one of their team's precious games just to save a few bucks on a monthly subscription fee. The league understands this psychological hold perfectly, and they are leveraging it to maximize corporate profits. This is exactly why ownership groups must abandon old-school, conservative financial mindsets and adopt aggressive, forward-thinking strategies. Front offices need to structure extensions with the future cap landscape in mind, confidently pushing money into the back half of contracts because the upcoming league revenue expansion will clear that space out. The most successful organizations in the league are already operating this way, capitalizing on the math before the rest of the league catches up. Ownership must be completely willing to write the big checks and absorb the nominal risk now, because the looming financial boom will reward the teams that played chess while everyone else played checkers. At the end of the day, structural evolution is completely inevitable. You either adapt to the new landscape, or your franchise gets left in the dust. The league is a global business that will never stop hunting for new revenue streams and fresh international fanbases. International football is officially here to stay, and a dedicated weekly overseas streaming package will be reality before we know it. The financial rewards for our roster flexibility are going to be massive, but the soul of traditional football environments is hanging in the balance. Bear down, get ready for a wild ride, and make sure your subscriptions are sorted, because the future of the sport waits for no one.